How's it going, world? Hope you're well, hope you're safe. Welcome back to the Rules of Thinking with Richard Templar. Yesterday we went over rule number 14, which was like yourself. Yeah? So let's discuss that a moment. Today's rule is going to be rule number 15. Be ready to cope. Before we get into that, I want to talk a bit about self-love, about liking yourself. And it's quite simple, but it can be quite difficult to implement. Yeah, it can be quite difficult to put into practice. Like, you've got to you've got to like yourself. If you don't like you, how can you expect other people to like you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Why wouldn't you like you? Why wouldn't you like you? I mean, you fought against 250 million sperm cells, yeah, for your chance at life. That's a mathematical fact. That's a biological fact. The odds of being born a human being instead of like a tree or a rock or something, they're like 4,000 trillion to 1. I'm not even sure how many zeros go into that number. That's mad. 4,000 trillion to 1. And against all them odds, you're here on this planet, alive, fortunate enough to have some form of electricity and technology to be able to watch this video. Keep the perspective, okay? Be kind to yourself, yeah? There'll be plenty of people out there who won't be kind. You ain't got to be one of them. Be kind to yourself, okay? Right, rule number 15, be ready to cope. Let's see what Richard's got to tell us today. There are lots of coping mechanisms that will help you when you hit hard times. They will make it easier for you to bounce back from whatever hits you. In other words, they'll enable you to be more resilient, which is what we want. If you've just found out that your father is terminally ill, or you've had another miscarriage, or your partner has gambled away your savings, or you haven't got the grade you need, or your child needs a major operation, or your new boss is a nightmare, this is probably not going to feel like a good moment to start learning lots of new skills. And yet there are plenty of skills. Some we've covered, some we'll go into in a bit that will really help you cope. So the answer is to make sure those skills are up your sleeve, just waiting for a moment such as this. You'll have found out what works for you and practiced it every time you've missed the bus, or had to deal with your critical mother, or traipsed into work with a stinky cold. You'll use some of these new thinking habits constantly, whether things are good or bad. Others will be strategies you bring into play when you recognise you need to give yourself a bit of a leg up to cope with things. You'll need these skills polished and ready to go, so when things really hit the fan, you can switch them on effortlessly. Because effort isn't going to come easily at those moments. That's true. That's true. Your most troubling times, the toughest moments of your life, like how hard is it to just get out of bed in them times? Do you know what I mean? How much do you have to like just fight yourself to like get moving and do something? Like, you definitely need to find whatever coping skills and rituals and mechanisms work for you in a healthy way. The key is it has to be healthy, yeah? Otherwise, it's just going to make them problems worse. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to deal with them sufficiently, or it's just going to add extra crap and extra baggage onto you that you're going to have to deal with further down the road. So make sure your coping mechanisms are healthy, yeah? There are new ways of thinking in the next section, healthy thinking, which will be really useful to you, so long as you've made habits of them. Happy days, Richard. We were just talking about healthy. Oh, they'll have helped even when things were going smoothly, but now you'll really reap the benefits. And there are other strategies too, which you'll need to work out for yourself. They're not difficult, but some are new skills worth learning before you need them. Yoga, sport, meditation, going for a bike ride, taking a long soaking bath, going out with friends, playing with the dog, cat, budgerigar. Budgerigar? I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. If someone's watching this and I'm not saying that correctly, can you please let me know? I think it's budgies. My granddad used to have loads of budgies. Used to look after them for him, like whenever he weren't too well. He had hundreds of them. He had a massive aviary, owls as well. Not all of them require training, but you do need to know which are the ones that help you. If you don't have a broad repertoire to cover all moods, weathers, time windows, locations, build up a wider range. If all your coping strategies require you to be at home, for example, think of a useful habit you can develop for when you're at work, or with the kids, or when it's snowing. And it's not enough just to have these personalised tactics ready. You have to recognise when to deploy them. You have to be in the habit of thinking, it's been a tough day, I think I'll go for a run. Or, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, I'll meditate for 20 minutes when the kids are in bed. Know what your strategies are, when you need them, and which ones help when. The moral of the story, you'll need these skills polished and ready to go. I like that. I like that. Be ready to cope. Keep your coping mechanisms, your coping skills, like, just keep them sharp, yeah? Keep using them. And like yourself, learn to love yourself, yeah? So, any of you who follow me on social media, you'll have seen that I've followed Will Smith's challenge thing, been inspired by him and everyone else who's joined in so far, and I've posted up a picture of my lockdown body, and yeah, I'm in the worst shape of my life. However, that body, this body right here, has got me through one of the toughest years that I've had to face, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm grateful. So, thank you. And now I'm going to get this body in the best shape possible. You just watch this space. I'm telling you, watch. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow for the next one. All the best.